But let's talk a little bit about the assignment, assignment 8. Pull it up here. So assignment 8 is really just sort of an introduction to type. It should be pretty easy because you have project 2 due next week. So it's got two parts. Part A, using one of the brass object photos, right? You know them, you love them. They're in the folder of stuff for this class. For week 10, grab it, rotate it 90 degrees, probably, I think most of them are vertical. Make it 8-bit. If there's a bunch of white space, you can crop that white space down, and then draw a path along it and then fill it with text, right? So that video that we just did, the handout that you have talking about that, do it. So once you have done that, right, once you've got it in there, 8-bit, rotated, whatever, typed all the text in there, rasterize it. You want to rasterize it. Part B, using imagery from the internet. That means go grab some things, bring them back in. That's a little disturbing. Make a file which clips the photo to a box of text, right? So that's what we did with the skyline text in the demo. For your text, you can make up your own word, or you can use one of the following: loud, afraid, nighttime, make America great again, chaos, or fluffy. And what we want to do in this is to have the type, the way the type is used, and the image work together, right? So if I am choosing fluffy, maybe I have a font that is also somehow fluffy. If I am doing loud, maybe I have a font that seems big and aggressive and loud. What do those things mean? I mean, so I pulled up some samples here in Photoshop. These are some fonts that seem to have fairly explicit connotations. Cowboy stuff, right? This is a font that is literally called Giddy Up. So it's sort of curly. It's kind of fun. You know, if it were a cowboy, it would be Woody from Toy Story. It's not like the Marlboro Man. This font is called Fraktur, or it's a font, Fraktur font. It feels super fascist, right? Like sort of Nazi lettering. This is Comic Sans, which is basic. Can't get much more basic than Comic Sans. It is the fucking khaki chinos and polo shirt of denim couch of fonts. Just and then sort of more formal things, right? So that font down here at the bottom, whose name I have literally forgotten, Adobe Garamond Pro. That font feels much more, it's not quite wedding invitation-y, but it's like has a gravitas to it, has these like fun little ligatures and stuff. It's a serif font, so it feels a little bit more uptight, a little bit more a font that you would use, frankly, if you were writing a bunch of stuff. For the homework, you are probably going to want to choose a font that has some meat to it, so that you can actually see the image through it, right? If you have a little tiny skinny font, you're not going to see it as much. You can always bold it, you can fake bold it, you can scale it up, but keep that in mind when you're looking for fonts. You can, because you do have a Adobe Creative Suite membership, when you go up there to choose a font, one thing you can do is you can add fonts from Typekit. So Typekit is this big Adobe thing which has like a bajillion fonts which you're allowed to license. You can click on it, you'll have to log in, and then you can go through and find fonts based on their classification. Black letter, right? Slightly Gothic, vaguely English, sometimes a little fascist. Slab serif, again, these are like bigger, kind of chunky fonts. Probably gonna be better off with headings. Decorative, right? You get some nice big ones with decorative. Anyway, that's a great place to find some fonts because you probably don't have a lot of interesting fonts on your computer. I mean, sorry if you do. I don't mean to be an ass. Maybe. Anyway, so that's where you can find some fonts that are going to be useful to you go back here, part B, right? So part B, imagery from the internet, warp, effects, fonts, whatever. Make something where the picture and the word work together. And then part C, starting to think about what text looks like in the world around you. So obviously we're not going to be out running around like taking pictures of like subway ads, but you have the internet, you have magazines, presumably, perhaps we even have printed newspapers. Any of those things, go out and find some especially good or bad examples of type, right? So go out in the world, on the internet, see some things on the magazine stack in your parents' basement, in, I don't know, wherever you find a stack of magazines, wherever it is you happen to be, there's always text type somewhere. Find something, get 3 good or bad ones, and submit those along with your files. So you're going to submit part A, browse object photo, text on a path. Part B, clipping mask, warp, effects, making an image where the type has the image showing through it, and the picture and the font appearance type, whatever, are related. And part C, text in the wild, 3 images. For part A, you're rasterizing it. For part B, you are not rasterizing it. Don't do it. And part C, these are just like snapshots so that there is no rasterizing going on. They're already raster images. Okay, so that's it. 5 files. Throw it into that Google Drive. Pay attention to what the criteria are. And that is all. Hit me up if you have any questions.